right, we're here opening day at Cedar Lake with Jesse Redetske, Wissota Superstock driver. What did you think of when they switched to Wissota last year? Did that work out well for you, or is it not a change at all?
It didn't really matter. I was sort of license anyways for racing at Red Cedar Speedway.
And are you planning on running every night out here for the whole season at Cedar Lake again?
Yeah, it's the plan right now. Try to see if we can get it for the 5th year in a row for track points.
It's been a pretty good run for you out here. You seem to have a lot of success. Family in general has had a lot of success out here through the years. What do you like most about Cedar Lake?
I guess I don't know. It just seems like a big event when you come here every night. I was just talking about that the other day. I don't know what it is about it. I just like coming here.
Yeah, it's the Saturday night thing to do, I think, for a lot of people, and it just feels like family out here.
Yeah, I've been coming here since Dad's been racing, and I think that's the biggest part of it. It just seems like something you're supposed to do. And I do pretty good at the track.
How long have you been running the Super? I think you've run other divisions too in the past, but you've been in the Super for quite a few years now.
Yeah, like 12 to 14. I don't really know. Went all the way up to the late model, and then that wasn't a good fit for me. Came back down, and Dan asked if I'd race for him, and I started doing that, and we're getting together pretty good, and everything's working out great.
And Dan was quite the wheeler in his day too. I see he's still got the number and name on the trailer, so that's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, it won't be next, or soon. We got a new trailer we bought from Dad's old enclosed trailer he just bought, so we'll be pulling that here shortly.
Probably have to put that one like in a display case or a Hall of Fame somewhere.
Yeah, it'll be for sale if anybody wants it.
So are you running any other bigger specials too as the year comes along? So any weeknight or Sunday specials that come up?
Kind of we'll have to see, play it by ear, see what happens. Like at the end of last year, we decided to go to Ogilvie for the topless for the first time ever. And then I made it to Ashland. That all depends on what weekend it falls. My stepdad does a cancer benefit car show, and I go help him out a little bit with that. And it seems to fall every weekend when Ashland's going on.
Did you make it out for practice last night, or is tonight going to be the first time out in the car?
No, I made it out last night.
How did things go last night? The track looked really good, and the car worked good for you?
Yeah, it did. We tried some new things. That's why we came, and then it was a good positive change. So then we just tried some other stuff and see what happens.
All right. Well, good luck tonight, and I hope to see you again the rest of the year.
All right, thanks.
And we are here with Mike Loomis down in the pit area at Cedar Lake Speedway. Mike, you've been a mainstay here at Cedar Lake for a very, very long time in the 17 car. What's opening night for you?
A lot of, I guess, learning. I mean, there's quite a few different things with this car. Car was pretty rough on me last year. I didn't do very well and tried some things to start out the year this year, and we're going to see what happens.
Going through the years, opening night track conditions are usually a little bit on the rougher side. Is that what you guys kind of look at going forward here in the opening night?
I do, actually. I mean, I figure it's always going to be rough, but from what I hear, practice last night was pretty smooth. So I'm hoping that it's going to be smooth. I mean, I hope they didn't change much from last night, and we don't have to worry about a rough track tonight.
They were touting on Facebook here that this is one of the earliest starts that they've ever had here at Cedar Lake. Would this be one of the earliest starts that you've had?
I'm gonna say yes. I mean, we were just talking about this over here. We didn't think it was gonna be that busy here tonight because most people aren't ready to go because we're not racing for another month. Even though it's scheduled to start, we're not here doing it. It's always rained out or snow or frost or something. So yeah, I'm gonna say this is probably the earliest I've ever started racing.
Now going through the year. Are you guys going to be primarily here? Are you going to venture out a little bit? What's the plan for 2024?
Well, it's definitely primarily here, but we're going to, we'll do Princeton. I'm going to try to get to Menominee a few times this year. I might even try Proctor, Granite City. I'll go to Ogilvie when they're not racing here. So it's just kind of up in the air other than here. I mean, I race here basically every Saturday. Other than that, it's kind of up in the air.
Now, are you guys, do you guys kind of points race here? You kind of having a little bit of fun? Kind of what's the season competitively that you want?
It's always nice to race for points. It's always nice to be the champion, but it's kind of tough. It's very stressful. So my thing is I want to come and have fun, but, the points would be great too.
And, you've done it for so long. How important are these sponsors on the car?
The sponsors I couldn't do it without them. There's no two ways about it. And, I just talked to couple of them, like Larry Baumeister, Baumeister Excavation. I just talked to him the other day, and we're like, how do you race if you don't have sponsors? Your sponsors really, foot the bill, you couldn't do it without them. So, yeah. Can I thank them all?
Absolutely.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so I got Midwest Painting and Drywall, TNS Stucco, Macco Tools by John Olson. He also sponsors a track here. That's awesome. GRP Motorsports.
Along with almost every other car in the pits, GRP.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, he's just a great person for the sport. And so I got Scott's Engine Shop. Trying to think. I got a new sponsor in Dynatech Automotive this year. They came on board. I think that's it. That's all of them, I think. So, yeah, I couldn't do it without them, and I can't thank them enough.
Well, Mike, good luck this year, and good luck tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mike Loomis down here in the pit area at Cedar Lake Speedway. Don't forget you can watch every lap online at FYE TV all season long here at Cedar Lake.
Here with Mondovi's Chad Kreisel, driving a USR late model this year. Are you looking forward to opening night at Cedar Lake?
We are, yep. We came out last night, put a couple laps on just to make sure we nut and bolted everything and nothing fell apart after having the car, down to the bare chassis again over the winter. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. The kids are excited. I'm excited. We got our first win here last year at Masters on the final, and so we just got to get some more seat time and keep playing,
I see you got your whole pit crew here with you.
Oh yeah, yep. They all got their jobs and whatnot. So, and it helps because it's me and these two we do it all. So.
Are you planning on running all the races at Cedar Lake with this classes scheduled this year?
Yeah, we're gonna, yep. Last year I think we got in almost 30 shows throughout the season, but I'm gonna try and cut back on some Friday nights and focus just here. But we'll fill in a few. We might try and run out to Fergus Falls and run with our cars out there with, I think they call them Gen X or X-Gen out in West. Fergus Falls, Watertown, we'll hit that up a couple times. We'll go down to MTS on Friday nights and run with them guys a few times. So we'll just kind of play it by ear, but we're definitely going to come here every Saturday.
Is there much difference between the rules with the USRA and then what they run up at Fergus?
I don't think so. We've been talking about it a little bit. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they can run Hoosiers, but they have to be used Hoosiers, and then we can still run our racers. But otherwise, because I know a few of them guys have been here for Legendary with us and stuff and had to run American racers. But yeah, those are pretty much similar cars, so yeah.
And how long you been at this gig and what division did you start in?
Started in the little bang bangers and the 4 cylinders. I think we did that for 7 years or something, me and my brother. And then this is going to be our 4th full season on this now. So starting to get the hang of it. I kind of wish I'd have jumped in earlier and got out of them 4 cylinders, but it was a learning curve, that's for sure. And I'm still learning. I mean, I don't know a bunch, but all the guys that help. I got any questions? I was sitting up here with Mars and anybody, Jassy or any of the guys that run, these kind of cars, they're always more than willing to help and give you pointers. AJ's been here a couple times and I've been practicing, and he just had me stay in the car and he starts doing stuff, and and it's just seat time, and being old, I think it's probably tougher being older because you got dumb habits and trying to get over that. So that's why these little kids like Cade Nelson and Mike Wachowski and all these younger kids coming through that have been in karts and that kind of stuff, really, they probably didn't learn any bad habits. I had good teachers, and I had family that used to race years ago, but they're just kind of learning on our own, and it's fun. So yeah.
That's the nice thing about this sport is the experienced drivers, the ones that win a lot, are more than willing to give you help to get you up to speed.
They are, exactly. And our class is good too, because a lot of the guys in our class, a lot of us are inexperienced and don't know, We're not in the Wasota cars and that stuff. I mean, it's the same car, of course, but just competing against each other. We're pretty much at the same tracks every night, every weekend, so we're always helping each other, and we want to make sure everybody's on the track competing against each other. So, and we all got a lot of respect for each other, and it's fun because everybody realizes you don't want to go home with banged up stuff. We all don't like fixing every weekend, So yeah, they're getting a lot of respect out there from guys. So it's a good class. Yeah.
And that's something I learned just a couple years ago from Nick Paninsky with this class is you don't have to get a whole new car to move up to Super. It's expensive still, but you change the motor, change shocks, and you're pretty much ready to go.
Correct. Yeah, it's nice. We can, you can find a lot of 2, 3, 5, 6, 8-year-old Wasota cars that guys have updated, or maybe even the 3rd or 4th one, hand downs, I could say. And so yeah, you can get into them relatively inexpensive. Like you say, every motorsport, whatever you do, it's going to be expensive, and whatnot. And I've had good luck. I always get Jake Redetski's cars when he hands them down. This is the 2nd one I've gotten from him now, and 2nd or 3rd actually. And it's nice too, and yeah, I got questions, them guys give me some pointers, but a lot of it's just seat of your pants and got to learn it on your own, and how it goes. But I'd say it's a good way to use up some of them older chassis and stuff for a class like this. And like with Bob Tim, them guys down at MTS doing that, their Eco Mod class this year, using up some of them B mods and older chassis for trying to get an affordable way for guys to get started into it. And hopefully once you got everything, it's easier to start progressing and move up. The basic, get your hauler, get your trailer, your tools, all that. Then it's just you start updating the chassis or a motor, and and then we got places to hand our stuff down when you want to upgrade to something. So yeah.
Cool. Well, good luck tonight and the rest of the season. We'll see you again.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
We're down in the pit area now with Parker Foster. Parker, kind of young racer racing a late model. What's your expectations going into tonight?
I'm just really out here to learn what to do. It's our first year in a Wasota car and just get to know it, see how it's different from the USRA car.
So going from that USRA car to the Wasota car, what's the biggest difference that you're seeing so far?
Definitely the shocks. It sets over much more in the motor. It's got a lot more power. And that's really the big thing is the shocks, really.
So going over to the Wasota car now, we do have a lot of Wasota tracks around. Where do you guys plan on racing this year?
We'll be here at Cedar Lake going every night, and then Red Cedar too, weekly.
So what are some of these names that are on the car that got you now to the Wasota late model division?
Definitely Alliance Exteriors, they're a really big part of our racing program, and SPU, St. Paul Utilities, huge part of it, and Landon Volkman, L&O Auto Body.
Good luck on the first night in this good-looking car.
Thank you.
And there you have it, Parker Fox in the pit area here at Cedar Lake Speedway. You can catch all the action tonight on FYE TV. They will be broadcasting every lap tonight at Cedar Lake Speedway, as well as all regular season long. You can also catch all these interviews live, on replay on MBTV Sports, along with the Thunderhill Speedway weekly and the Go for Midgets. We will also be broadcasting in with FYE TV at the Red Cedar Speedway next Friday night. You can catch all of the action live with your subscription to FYE TV.
All right, we're here with Sammy Mars running at Cedar Lake for opening night this year. How things been going so far this year?
So far it's been all right. We've been doing a lot of open racing, just trying to get my feet wet in that. It's tough going out and racing against some of the best guys there is, so you get humbled pretty quick, but it's fun to do it and try and get better every night, so it's been going good.
And when you run out here, do you run the open motor or do you run a Wasota type motor for these shows?
Yeah, so you can either do both. We'll run the open motor with a restrictor plate in it, so that's what we got here tonight.
And traveling around, is that, you've done a little bit in the past, but this year I think you've gone a little farther down New Mexico and stuff like that. Is it something you enjoy doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Every time you get on the racetrack, it seems like you can see improvements in yourself, and the more you race, the better you get as a driver, and the more you can get your car dialed in. So that's another reason that helps running this open car this weekend here with the restrictor plate. Obviously, you can kind of just keep working on what you've been doing all year and just try and get better every night.
And what are your plans for this year? Are you going to run any specific series, or are you guys just going to jump around and run the bigger shows that you pick and choose?
Yeah, we're going to do a lot of jumping around, no specific series, it's really just going to be a week-to-week kind of deal. We're going to be doing some open stuff, some Wasota stuff, and I really don't know where I'm going to end up at any given weekend.
And what's it like driving for your dad? You grew up around the sport, you got to see him win a lot of big races, and your time will come too, but it's got to be great to have somebody like that on the team.
Oh, absolutely. Between him and my Uncle Chris, Jeff, Mike, our whole crew, it really is. We got a good group of guys that really helps me focus on just the driving part, and I don't really got to worry about a whole lot of other stuff. Obviously still work on the car, but can really just focus on my driving, try and get better every single night. And having him is a lot. He's a great coach. He knows what to do to these cars, so every little bit that he's along with, it helps a lot.
Cool. Well, we appreciate you coming on the show here and look forward to seeing you the rest of the season.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
And now we're over with Tony Schill. Tony drives the 8S Modified. Tony, you've got a ton of laps around Cedar Lake. What's the expectation going into tonight?
Not sure. I guess we're wait to see what the track conditions are like and go from there and adjust the car and go out and have fun.
And you've done this for quite a long time. Is there any nerves on an opening night, even though you've done it so many times?
Oh yeah, don't scratch the car. Once you get that first scratch out of the car, it's fair game.
Now take us through kind of the year last year. You had another solid year, and just kind of how it went in your eyes.
Yeah, we actually made a chassis change halfway through the year. We were struggling in the beginning half, so we decided we had to get something else, and we bought an MB Customs, and so far I've been liking it a lot. Made some changes, quite a few changes to it last night, and so far everything's been working good.
How nice is it to have the customer service just right in the backyard here?
Pretty good. He even came over today just to see how everything went last night. So, yeah, it's pretty nice.
And now 2024, what's the season kind of look like for you guys going forward?
I think for now we are just going to stick to Cedar Lake as much as we can. We got a 10-month-old baby, so traveling's kind of going to be limited. So around here weekly, and, we'll see from there.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Tony Schill looking to take down the Cedar Lake Speedway points possibly this season. He will pilot the 8S Modified tonight on FYE TV.
We're here with Scott Splittstosser. A little different look for you this year on the car.
John and Jimmy saw that color when we were picking up tin, and they said, let's do it. I said, good. Change it up a little bit.
It definitely stands out. I mean, the other car stood out with it being black and the yellow numbers, and as long as I remember, you've had a black car.
I have. Since I started. I've had one orange car, and I bought it that way, and ever since we've been black. So that's a good change.
Is it the same car as last year, just reskinned?
Yep, same car. Same car. It's a 2010 Shaw car.
So it's nothing new. No. Are you planning on running the full season out here at Cedar Lake this year?
We are actually planning on doing some traveling. We're going to do the Humboldt next weekend for the Battle of the Bull Ring. We're going to Sheridan for that 10,000 to win. And we deal a lot. We talk with Dan Wheeler a lot, and so he's been kind of talking us into doing a little bit of the bigger money shows. So we're going to do that. We might go up to the new track in Thunder Bay, and we might do that for their big show. So we're gonna do that, and otherwise we'll be here every Saturday when we're not hitting one of the big shows. So.
Cool. That sounds like a lot of fun traveling around like that. You did a little bit of that when Dan had his heart issues, and you got to drive the red one for quite a while. That had to be really fun that year.
That was a blast. That kind of changed and revived me racing. I was kind of getting burnt out, and I was running two cars and struggling. And when I went racing for Dan, that kind of turned around my whole racing and my mentality, and gave me some confidence back. And so I talk to Dan a lot. I mean, we talk pretty much a few times a week and touch base. And so, yeah, that revived me of getting back out. And that's when I kind of did this, because it's a little more manageable and a little bit more a little more friendly, just because the changes in an A-mod and the technology now has gotten so high level, and it's expensive, and this kind of lets us have a lot of fun, and it's a little less cost. So.
I noticed when you were driving Dan's car that season that he made Teresa do most of the work still too, even though he wasn't driving. Teresa can be scary. She when I first met her, I walked up and I don't think she knew how well I knew Dan, and she was underneath the car changing the gears, and I'm talking to Dan, and I started giving Dan some crap. And she rolled out from underneath the car and told me in so many words, like you don't talk to him that way. I just looked at Dan, and Dan smiled at me and smirked, and I walked away. And then after that, I got to know Teresa, and now we're like just best buddies. But yeah, she likes to do the work, and you don't touch it unless you ask. So even when I was with them, like, hey Teresa, can I help with tires? Can I, that was. But she's a go-getter. She keeps him going. He's told me this year, he's like, he'd probably slow down, but just how she likes to do it, I mean, that's why they just keep going. She's willing to work, so. All right, well, thanks, Scott. Well, best of luck to you tonight and the rest of the season.
Thanks a ton.
All right, we are now down here with Cam Schafer. Cam, you are a perennial front runner here at Cedar Lake. You got some practice in last night. Is the confidence level high after practice?
No, it's fine. We just shook down a couple things and refreshed the motor over the winter, and then we shook down a 410 car too last night. So plenty busy.
So with about 1 billion laps around Cedar Lake, is there any expectations going into the first night, or is it just make sure the car stays upright and just finish?
We got a pretty good track record on opening night, and then kind of sets a tone for the season. So do the best you can, and then hope to roll it in the box at the end of the night. That's the main thing.
We've talked about a little bit of the midget schedule that you'll run, but what are we going to see in the sprint car?
In the sprint car, or yeah. So the 410 car, we'll run that wins and high roller and USAC Midwest, and then we're running full as much as we can around here, Cedar Lake UMSS. So pretty busy schedule this winter or summer. Holy crap.
Cam Schafer trying to get his seasons correct here on a beautiful afternoon at Cedar Lake Speedway. You can catch all the action on FYE TV, so stay tuned for more driver interviews.
All right, we're here with Lucas Peterson. Doesn't have the family truckster out tonight, but this, like you saying, this car you were going to build for your son and have him race it?
Yeah, it's the car I ran last year. I was getting it ready for him anyway and stuff. He's going to run Jim Falls, and I'm going to run here every Saturday. I only got the one trailer, and he's only 14 years old right now, so he can't really drive the pickup truck at all anywhere. So, yeah, we're coming out tonight anyway and see how if she's anywhere near close to what she was last year.
Did you make it out for practice last night?
I did not. We were about to come for practice, and I went to pull out of the garage, and the clutch pedal went right to the floor, and I forgot I took the transmission out over the winter and never bled the clutch on it. So by the time I got done with buttoning everything up on it, that just wasn't worth hauling 2.5 hours up here just to go make a few laps and 2.5 hours back.
The graphics do look nice from like 5 feet away. I mean, it looks professional.
Oh, yeah, I did that in about 5 minutes when I got here and stuff. So I drove it up on the highway anyway with no duct tape anyway. But once we got here, I rolled out the duct tape.
So is the plan for both of you to run as much as possible this year, given you only have one trailer, but take your turns running and run every weekend?
Yep. Like I said, he's gonna stick to Jim Falls, and I'm gonna run here. He's just got done with some school sports injuries. He actually broke his neck over the winter and stuff, so he just got out of the neck brace a couple weeks ago, and he's healing up, and so got to get him all that safety stuff, the Hans, and he's going to be all ready to go anyway and stuff. I still got a fire bottle coming for him too yet and stuff, make sure everything's all good to go for him.
And how long have you been at this game?
Last year was my 25th year. So we rolled out this car as a silver anniversary edition last year. It looked just like my old Nova that I started with 25 years ago, only instead of white, we went silver.
Cool. Well, best of luck this year, and make sure everybody else tunes in on FYE TV tonight to watch the races.